Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, members of the class, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the American University in Cairo's 95th commencement ceremony. Since it was founded in 1919, the American University in Cairo has aspired to be of service to Egypt and to the world, preparing our students to meet the challenges of the future with courage, confidence, and creativity. And our speaker will be adding a fourth C. Our graduate programs provided talented young people with the advanced skills and knowledge that will launch them into successful professional careers and make them important contributors to their societies and their countries. Today we are proud to award PhDs to 3 students in engineering and to award master's degrees to 128 candidates. We asked much of you as students. Now we ask of you as graduates even more, to accept the responsibilities of leadership and to exemplify the kind of courage, compassion, and creativity we foster in our students and that we celebrate in our alumni. Now it is your turn to give of yourselves and to inspire in others the selfless qualities which we have strived to nurture in each of you. As you listen to our distinguished speaker in just a few minutes, I hope you will dedicate yourselves as she has dedicated herself and her lifetime to the service of our fellow women and men, and particularly to those far less fortunate than any of us in this great hall. I would ask the graduates to join me in thanking just a few of the many who have contributed to your success, which we're celebrating today. Included here in the stage party are representatives of the thousands of people who work, often behind the scenes, to make this university truly extraordinary. I would like first to recognize members of the university leadership and faculty who are present with us today. I will ask each to stand and be recognized. Although it's hopeless, I will ask you to hold your applause until I have called each of their names, and then we'll recognize them by groups. First, and all of these are friends as well as colleagues, I should say. Our provost, Ihab Abdurrahman, our university counselor, Ashraf Hatem, our interim executive vice president for administration, and our chief financial officer, Gordon Hanke, Amr Sharawi, who is not only Grand Marshal of our ceremony today, but also chair of the University Senate, again for a second term. Thank you, fellow leaders of the faculty of the university. I would also like to recognize our deans who play diverse roles and vitally important leadership roles in the service of our academic programs and directly in the services to our students. May I ask our deans to stand and accept our appreciation. Once again, I'll call each name, and I'll ask you to withhold the applause until all of the deans have stood. Nabil Fahmy of Global Affairs and Public Policy, Hassan Al-Fawal, Sciences and Engineering, Robert Switzer, Interim Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, Ghada Hashimi, Interim Dean of Undergraduate Studies and the Academy of Liberal Arts, Dean Sharif Kamal of Business, Dina Borai of Continuing Education, and George Markey, Dean of Students. Deans, thank you very much. I would like to introduce as a group the not only distinguished but amazing faculty who it's my privilege to work with every day, my privilege and delight. These are the people who have taught, advised, and guided our students at every level and every discipline. We are blessed with a diverse, dedicated, and talented faculty of international reputation, deeply committed to teaching, research, and learning. I ask the faculty please to rise so that we can recognize you and thank you. Thank you very much. And finally, another group of people here who are most important. The most important thing, two things actually, the parents can do for their sons and daughters is to love them and then to educate them. Parents, I salute you in particular. I would like to recognize also the spouses and in some instances the sons and daughters who have supported our students and helped them reach this day. Families, please rise. Family members, please stand so we can recognize you and thank you. Thank you all very much. I know what a sacrifice families make to have their students come here. This is a very special day for us at AUC. We're beginning the afternoon with this ceremony for our graduates, the master's degree recipients and the PhDs. We do this in air-conditioned comfort in this hall. Later this evening, we will graduate our undergraduates. There's some common themes here. One is, in each of these ceremonies, we like to present examples, inspiring examples, typically of Egyptians. Sometimes we have foreigners who have a special affinity for Egypt or a special meaning in being here. But we like to have Egyptians who are engaged with the world and serving this country and the region and serving humanity. Today, here, we're starting the day with someone whose life was shaped at AUC, importantly, and whose life was also shaped at another great international institution, and which she shaped in return, the World Bank. And at a later ceremony, we'll be having a former minister of Egypt, also a vice president of the World Bank, who will be speaking to our graduates. So I would like to introduce Her Excellency, Minister of Tourism, Rania El-Mashat, who will inspire you with her words. I ask each of you, I'll say a few things about her life, but I ask you, each of you, to read into it, see on YouTube the speeches she's made in the past, and really draw inspiration from an incredible Egyptian citizen of the world and an AUCian. Here we do strive to educate generations of confident, creative, selfless, civic-minded students who are eager to embrace and engage the challenges of our times. Minister El-Mashat embodies these ideals and stands up as an example of our highest hopes for our graduates. Dr. El-Mashat became the first woman to head the Ministry of Tourism in Egypt when she was sworn in as minister just earlier this year. That ministry is responsible for the Egyptian Tourism Promotion Board and the Tourism Development and Investment Board, and is one of the most critically important of the elements of the Egyptian government for the prosperity and the international presence of this country. After obtaining her undergraduate degree in economics from AUC, Minister El-Mashat pursued her master's and her PhD in economics at the University of Maryland in College Park, Maryland. She specialized in applied macroeconomics, international economics, and monetary policy. In completing executive education certificates in leadership from Harvard and Oxford universities, she embraced AUC's value of lifelong learning. Minister El-Mashat has worked with prominent financial institutions in Egypt and worldwide, including the IMF, International Monetary Fund, where she initially worked as a senior economist. In 2005, she joined the Central Bank of Egypt, where she served for 11 years. During her tenure, she worked to modernize and develop the bank as an assistant sub-governor and head of the Monetary Policy Department. At the Central Bank, she acted as a liaison between the bank, sovereign rating agencies, and the IMF. Before taking on her role as minister, she returned to the IMF and served as advisor to the chief economist, Professor Maurice Obstfeld. In January of last year, Minister El-Mashat participated in the World Economic Forum's Investing in Peace, a panel composed of influential global figures such as President Juan Manuel Santos of Colombia, and Philippe Le Houreau, Executive Vice President and CEO of the International Finance Corporation. She was among a list of 10 renowned economics experts whose input was sought for a World Economic Forum discussing making the world a fairer place. In 2014, she was selected as a young global leader by the World Economic Forum. Most recently, she contributed to the IMF's book entitled Advancing the Frontiers of Monetary Policy. We're proud that Dr. Al-Mashat gives back to AUC. She has been an adjunct professor with us, teaching monetary policy and central banking. She has also served on the Dean's Strategic Advisory Board at our School of Business. We're thrilled and delighted to have you with us today. Madam Minister, please join me in welcoming Minister Rania Al-Mashat.